to the Thanksgiving edition of the People's Game Day. I'm joined by the very intelligent and very right-footed person, Josh Borm, and then the one, the only, one of my favorite people in the world, Lane Millay, and then we've got the turkey trot Mr. himself, Lordy, it's got to be Jerdy. How we doing tonight, boys?
Good.
Been better.
Well, let's get right after it. Last week we had an interesting bet where Jordan Neuwirth bet everybody a shot for what, Jordy?
Well, I'm the only one on this panel that's got some stones. And I bet each and every one of you that NC State was going to knock off the little pipe dream that Liberty had going on of being undefeated. And they did. Doesn't matter how they beat them. And you all owe a shot, motherfuckers.
Cheers, Bez.
Is that amazing? My God.
Oh, it's like college.
I've been doing these bets for a few weeks, too. I feel like Lane hasn't had a bet, so we can just let him start a whole new chapter of
I think he's going to throw up.
women. Oh, Jesus, Lane.
Had to walk that one off.
So who's doing
a whole new
the bet
chapter
this
of
week?
irrelevancy? You can start betting.
Boys, it's been a
Lane's
while.
got that.
People are scared to bet me, apparently, after my 4 weeks of losing every single week. But I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this opportunity to bet our buddy Josh Borm that Iowa beats your precious Nebraska, and they beat them by 13.5, and Nebraska does not cover.
Deal.
Easy
All
drink
right.
for Josh.
You heard it here first, folks. And since it's kind of a special holiday edition, we went guestless. We're just going to go with your 4 best personalities in the world. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into our picks. Why don't we? With everybody thinking about different types of things right now, let's go with Iowa State, number 13, the Cyclones. They're going to number 17, Texas, which is kind of an interesting game. Texas being a 1.5 favorite. I'm taking, and I love this. Everybody's made fun of me, but I'm going with McConaughey's Longhorns. I'm taking them. Borm, who do you like, buddy?
I like Texas as well. Their turnover margin's +4, and they're averaging 40 points a game. That's a lot. Too much for Iowa State to slow down. I think it's going to be a great game, but I got Texas in the end. Lane, what do you think?
I say, fuck Texas. I'm sick of betting on them because every time I do, I friggin' lose. Iowa State, and they're going to win big. Jordy?
Everything in me wants to for some reason go with the Longhorns. The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, Texas native, huge Longhorn fan, retired after 30 years in the squared circle. I just can't do it. They're not back. They won't be back. They can't be back. The clones are here to stay. Enough said.
All right, interesting pick. Next, we've got what Lane just bet Borm. Nebraska playing at number 24, Iowa. Iowa being a 13.5-point favorite. I'm taking the Huskers. I like what they've done early on. Yeah, they've had a few miscues on it, but I'm taking the Huskers. Bormy, who are you taking?
For absolutely no reason besides I'm a homer, I'm taking the Huskers. Although with the points, two years in a row, Nebraska's been the far inferior team, and it's been a field goal game. Last year was a game-winning field goal as time expired. Year before was also a field goal game. For some reason, Nebraska decides to show up for this game. I know it's at Iowa. Iowa's been playing really well. But like I said, I really don't have – Nebraska's offense is actually slightly better than Iowa's offense somehow, just the numbers. It's Nebraska's averaging 375, Iowa's averaging 370, which I know that's nothing, but still, that means Iowa's offense is real bad because we all see Nebraska's offense. Like I said, just because I'm a homer, I'm taking Nebraska, but what happens? Lane, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you already heard my bet. I have Iowa over Nebraska. Iowa's playing really good. Nebraska isn't playing horrible. You know, I mean, last week.
Last
week. Yeah, last week is an exception. But Iowa is going to win this game. They're going to be waving before the game, and then they're going to be waving at Nebraska as they get on the bus with a fat L. So, Iowa. Jordy?
I'd like to take a moment, gentlemen. Last week, every single one of you and our guest picker picked Nebraska. Are you insane? The only man to stand by Lovie Smith and the Fighting Illini, and I will never pick them this season. It's insanity to pick them. Hawkeyes all day.
All right, thank you, Jerry. Now, this is I think, is one of the best games of the day tomorrow. Number 2, Notre Dame traveling to the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Tar Heels being a 4.5-point underdog. I'm taking the Fighting Irish, but I think it's going to be close. Borm, who do you like?
I agree with you. I have the Fighting Irish, but it's close. This has kind of all the makings for an upset. At Carolina, they're playing well. They got Sam Howell. He's a beast. But I just look at Notre Dame's defense. They're giving up 16 points a game. I think Carolina will score more than that, but it's Notre Dame's kind of control of their own destiny right now. I think they win this game. Lane, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think Notre Dame is going to win. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. I think 4.5 is tough because I think it could come down to a field goal. But I'm going to go ahead and have them winning by over 4.5, just for Notre Dame's playing good, But they're going to lose. They're bound to lose. I'm not sold that this is a national championship team. Sorry, Powers.
They're going to be good.
Not sorry, Powers. All right, Jordy.
We say it about every week that we expect Notre Dame to lose at some point. When I look at this game, and I say it every time we have North Carolina, this is a prove-it game for the legacy of Mac Brown and for Sam Howell. If you look at him getting draft traction, if you look at him getting any sort of notoriety for that program, this is the game. And I think they show up in a big way. They haven't really been in the spotlight since they lost to Florida State when they were ranked pretty high. I think they've learned a little bit, and I think they're going to come in guns blazing, and Sam Howell's going to have a goddamn day. Go Tar Heels.
Very good, Jordy. Very good. Next, we have Wyoming. They're going to Vegas playing UNLV. UNLV being a 16.5-point underdog. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Cowboys. I think Coach Bull gets them back. They travel to Vegas. Everybody from Wyoming loves Vegas, so I don't see why they wouldn't do well. Josh, what do you like in this game?
You're right about that. With Wyoming, people do love Vegas. This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Lane likes the places with poles.
So does every single person in this panel.
Never touched the stuff.
It really takes it out of you.
Yeah, it really
Like the
drains
Pokes.
the bank account. Anyways, go ahead.
I have the floor.
Dude.
You started it.
Anyway, I like the Pokes as well. Wyoming's not very good though. They had a decent year last year, but they're not doing so. They lost Colorado State. That's what I need to know about. I think they win. UNLV's given up 466 yards of offense in their 4 games. It was a night. I think Wyoming scores enough to win, but I don't know if it's over 17. So I'll take Wyoming with UNLV getting the points.
Sorry, you cut out there. You cut out there.
Lane.
Yeah, I got to go for the Pokes, obviously. Wyoming pride, all of that. But yeah, like Josh kind of nailed it. Like they're really not that good, But you have to, as a Wyoming native and someone who's still living here, you always got to go for the Pokes. UNLV is going to cover. It's like 13.5 points, I think. 16. Yeah, they're going to cover. I do think Wyoming's going to win, but it'll be interesting. Jordy?
I really only have 2 comments about this game. When I think about UNLV, the last thing I knew about them was that Barney Cotton's big fat fucking ass used to be the head coach there from Nebraska back in the day. Jesus. That guy came to Gearing High School one time, and he's a big fat dude. Second, in heaven there is no beer. That's why we drink it right fucking here. Go Pokes.
Love it, Jordy. Next is Stanford at Cal. Cal being a 1.5 favorite. This was interesting for me. I'm not sure who to take, so I'm just going to go with Cal. I don't know much about either team, but Borm, who do you like in this one?
I like Stanford just because looking at Cal's offense, they're averaging 307 yards per game. Remember earlier I was talking about Nebraska's offense, they're averaging 375. That's a bad offense.
Pac-12 for electric, though.
It's
Gonna
Pac-12
snap.
football.
I said Cal's
A lot of
offense
yards.
Cal's offense is bad. Stanford's problem is. Can I talk here?
Jordan, shut up.
I just wish I could finish one damn story.
It's Kansas City all over again.
Anyways, Stanford problems, their defense is garbage. They're giving up 464 yards a game, but with Cal's that's a good offense. I think Stanford's going to escape this one. I like the fair enough. And what do you got?
Yeah, I think Cal's going to win this one. These are two teams that are giving up a lot of points, but they're also putting up a lot of points. That's Pac-12 football. Not a whole lot of dominant defenses unless you're looking at Oregon, which we'll talk about that
They
later.
give up 35
But,
to UCLA.
Well, everyone,
Well, that's
well, that's your opinion. I think Cal's going to sneak this one by. It's 1.5 spread, so it could really go either way. So go Cal, Jordy.
There's not a lot of good things going on in this matchup, and I don't have a reason to pick either team. I like David Shaw, but if I'm going to go in this game, I want to go with Cal just because the lasting image of that program for me is Marshawn Lynch joyriding on the cart.
How about this game? The band is on the field, though. It's a reunion.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, they're having a reunion? Who ended up winning that? Did Stanford win that or did Cal win that?
I think Cal won. It was Stanford's band.
Because John Elway was the quarterback, so I think Cal won it.
Cal, because Stanford's band was playing on the field when they were running out, and the Cal guy fucking drone betted him. But we better move
What
on.
a moment. I can't believe they let that actually play out.
Here we got number 15, Oregon, traveling to Oregon State. Our boys, Austin Brown and Ryan Payne, up there coaching Oregon State. This is my upset of the week. Sorry, Lane, but I'm taking Oregon State. They're a 13.5-point underdog. Give me all them points plus more. I'm taking Oregon State. Blood's thicker than water. Go Dickinson State boys up there. Form, who do you like?
I have nothing wrong with your pick, but this is your second upset of the week.
No, I had a lock last week. My last one was a lock.
No, you also had Nebraska as your upset of the week. It's fine. You can have two upsets of the week. But anyway,
Kind of your call, anyways.
those guys up there, real proud of those guys. He's out of here.
Wait, where's his baby picture?
He's
Fuck's
downstairs now. Payne and Austin up there, super proud of them, and they're doing some good things. They have actually an ex-Nebraska quarterback who's doing better than any of Nebraska's current quarterback. But I think, Oregon's averaging almost 400 points a game, 40 points a game, 500 yards a game. That's just too much offense. I like the Ducks.
This one is super tough for me. Because Oregon is my team. I love Oregon to death. They're the clear favorite of this game. They have offense. They have offensive linemen. They have some stud defensive guys. Like, they're going to win. But Ryan Payne coaching up there, I played with him. He coached me. I love that guy. So I'm not going to sit here and just badmouth them at all because what he's doing up there and him and Austin are doing, I agree. I owe a lot to Ryan Payne. So it's going to be a good game. I do think Oregon's going to win, but I'm just excited of the situation going on up there regardless. So, Jordy?
Anything can happen in a rivalry game like this, Civil War, but clearly superior program in Oregon. And if we're just going to make it a swag battle, I mean, they blow them out of the fucking water. How does Oregon State not have better looking gear than what they got? I mean, it's disgusting.
They got a chainsaw.
They kind of got
That
those
is
with their
fucking
colors.
funny. Did you see Booger McFarland go, how does that get you hyped up, man? That's
The guy running on the sideline with the chainsaw running.
You got Oregon or what, Jared?
Yeah, who do you
They
take?
got Oregon. I'm not taking the fucking chainsaws.
All right, next we've got Penn State traveling to Michigan. I'm calling this game the Battle of the Bastards because it's two really shitty teams. I don't know who to take. I don't think Penn State's going to start 0-6, so I'm just going to take Penn State. Michigan's 2.5-point favorite here, but Battle of the Bastards, the Nittany Lions win it. Formy, who do you like?
I actually like Penn State too. Penn State's biggest problem right now, their turnover margin is -9. Their offense is averaging 418 yards a game. They're moving the ball, turn it over. Michigan's given up 437 yards a game. So I think Penn State's going to be able to score on them easily. And like Al said, I just can't see a blue blood like this going 0-6. I like the Nittany Lions here. Lane, what do you got?
It's just funny. A couple years ago, this would be a game that everyone would be like, yeah, I can't wait to watch Penn State and Michigan. And now I'm seriously sitting here looking at all these teams, and I'm like, I could give a rat's ass about this game. It is the battle of the shits. I think Michigan's going to win. Why? Because Penn State sucks, but so is Michigan. But I guess I'll take Michigan. John Harbaugh, I feel for him, I guess. I don't know. All right, Jordan.
Fuck those khakis. When you look at the two programs, like this is a trend for Michigan. They've been trending down. It hasn't really looked great. They still produce NFL talent, but the on-field product is just abysmal. They haven't been relevant since Braylon goddamn Edwards. Penn State, this is more of an outlier year. I don't know what's going on there. That being said, I got to go with the khakis. I don't know why, but Penn State losing to Nebraska just
Picking the
sucks the life
Khakis.
out of me. That's so bad.
It is bad. Right.
No, that's real bad.
All right.
Go Wolverines.
Next, we have the Terps from Maryland. They're playing at number 12, Indiana. Indiana being a 13.5-point favorite. Indiana's a funny team. They're like me in my dating life in high school and college. They're right there. They're right there. You're just waiting for them to go, but they never really go, and they're always going to be kind of the friend of college football. But I'm still going to take them this week. Borm, who do you like?
Maybe go for a walk there, Dallas.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like Indiana as well, their turnover margin is +7. They force a lot of turnovers, and they actually forced Justin Fields into his first turnover of the year. They got a good defense. Maryland has a great offense, but kind of strength on strength. I like Indiana here. Lane, what do you got?
So this is actually my lock of the week. After watching them play Ohio State last week, obviously they started 7-34 or 35-7. I don't remember, but they came back like they were showing some very good offense. That or Ohio State was just playing shitty. I do like Maryland though. I like Baby Tua over there, but they haven't played for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and take Indiana though, and they're going to win by 13.5. Jordy?
Indiana came out. They got down early, like you said, but they came back hard. They played damn hard. They showed a lot of effort, a lot of heart, and Maryland hasn't played in 3 weeks. I like Talia Tagovailoa. He's going to be a hell of a quarterback. Him and Mike Locksley have a very promising future there. But I think it's just not going to work out. You haven't played in 3 weeks, you're going to be rested, but there's going to be a lot of mistakes.
Plus, they got to go against Freifogel. That guy's a freak.
That guy's a
Who?
dick.
Freifogel, the receiver for Indiana.
A guy named Bry Fogel.
He had like 200 yards against Ohio State.
Take
Bry
off the
Fogel.
vest. You look like Aladdin.
All right, let's go next to our who gives a shit game. Kent State at Buffalo. Buffalo a 7.5-point favorite.
You pump the goddamn brakes, pal.
Pick Dallas.
Buffalo being a 7.5-point favorite here. I'm taking Buffalo. The junior college Bills. I don't know what you want to call them, but Borm, who do you like in the Buffalo Kent State game?
First of all, they're the Bulls. This is a battle for the lead in the MAC. Second of all, actually, this should be, first of all, the great Coach O'Boyle, the one Chadron State coach, the offensive line coach at Kent State. Here's a little something for you. They're averaging 299 yards rushing a game. That's moving the ball. That's O-line.
Wonder where that comes from. Starts on real men play with their hands on the ground.
That's what I'm saying. It starts up front, and Coach O'Boyle is one of the best to ever do it.
Real men play with their hands in their pants.
I guess I'm a real man.
Thought you were supposed to go for a walk, Dallas.
Something about Kent State's offense, 616 yards they're averaging a game. Number one in the country. And they only have their turnover margin is +2. They have 3 giveaways on the year. 1 a game. But they're still +2. With Coach OB up there, they're going to run the piss out of the ball, and they're going to put up a lot of points. Buffalo can't stop them. I like Kent State. This is my lock of the week.
Honestly, Josh, you just so I had Kent State winning just because it was kind of a toss-up, but everything you just said, if that offensive line is producing that much yards a game, that's impressive. And I'm always for, the teams that have great offensive lines.
This guy right here.
Beginning of the year, I liked Notre Dame because of their offensive line, but then Powers kind of ruined that for me. And now I hope that they, never win another football game. But with that being said, I'm going to go Kent State. Jordy?
What Borm said, I think it goes without saying, Bill O'Boyle is one of the great coaches in America. The guy's a fucking legend.
Any love.
Coach Sadrin with Danny Woodhead. I mean, the guy, everywhere he fucking goes, they're successful. He is such a great leader of men, and he produces. The dude is a fucking legend. I will never pick against the Kent State Golden Flashes, and I can't believe they don't have Kent State Golden Stashes T-shirts. The guy has legendary mustache. Yeah, they're the best.
He does have a
Okay.
killer mustache.
He
Well,
does.
I
That
wish
guy's
I would have known that before I called it the shit bowl. Now I feel
Also, I broke my leg at a football camp when he was coaching a drill, and I go to step on it, and I just fall, and he called me a pussy.
Well,
good
what a
man.
guy.
Good
What a
man.
guy.
All right, next we have number 22, Auburn. This is what I think is an early game of the – I know we talked about Notre Dame and UNC, but I think this one has the potential. It's a big rivalry. Auburn's beat them a few times. Auburn's going to number 1, Alabama. Alabama being a 24.5-point favorite. And I don't know. I don't know who to take in this one, but I'm obviously going to go with Roll Tide. I'm taking Bama, but this has the game for some serious dramatics moving down. Form, who do you like in the end?
like you said, Alabama's the far superior team, averaging almost 50 points a game, 550 yards of offense. They're unbelievable, and they're missing their probably most electric player in Waddle. I mean, he's a first rounder if he's healthy. He maybe still is a first rounder. I don't know,
Probably still is.
but yeah, they're too good. They're obviously going to win the game, but this is the Iron Bowl, and that's too many points. I like Auburn covering, but Alabama winning.
Bingo.
Lane, what you got?
I think even with Nick Saban being out, he is going to delegate just fine
Good
with
point.
his coaches and everything because he tested positive for COVID. Alabama's going to roll damn Tide and crush Auburn. Auburn is nothing. I think we're seeing one of the better Alabama teams we've seen in a long time with everyone, even without Waddle in there. Alabama's going to roll. Like this is
You say that, but people say that about years past. Let's not forget about Auburn. Just every time they play Alabama, they just come
I know.
to play. It's
Believe
insane.
me, they come to that game ready to play, but Alabama's going to come because they know too. It's the Iron Bowl to them too. So they're going to come in and they have the team to really put it to them this year. So if it is a good game, that's more the merrier. But I don't think it's going to happen. Jordy,
If there's two coaches in America that can really line up a game plan and get their team fired up to play Nick Saban, it's Hugh Hospital Bed Freeze and Gus Malzahn. They're coming off a win where they were down at halftime and beat the ever-loving piss out of my liver against Tennessee last week. I think they keep it close, but Alabama's a goddamn juggernaut. They're the Terminator right now. Mac Jones is running a hell of an offense. He's doing everything they need. Alabama, I'm saying Alabama by probably 17 when it's all said and done. They're going to pull away late. Auburn's going to keep it competitive, but I think Bo Nix is going to get a little rattled late in the game. They might have a fumble. Some silly mistakes. Tennessee's
rattled
up
last year, baby.
Alabama's going to kill you.
All right. In our next game, we got number 8, Northwestern, going to Michigan State. Michigan State being a 13.5-point underdog. Northwestern, interesting team. They're just cracked the top 8. They just keep performing every week in and week out. They're kind of that grinded out type team. I'm taking Northwestern. I think the Spartans will come out to play, though. I don't know why. Dalman Gibson's got something in the water up there, especially when they're going to Spartanville. But I'm still taking Northwestern. Form, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I like what you said. They're in East Lansing. Northwestern obviously proved themselves a pretty solid team last week with what they did to Wisconsin. I think Michigan State kind of rights the ship and makes this a competitive game, but Northwestern wins in the end. Lane, what do you got?
I got Northwestern winning, and I have them winning by over 13.5. But again, like we were saying earlier with Oregon State, whatever Dahlman is doing up there, that is so awesome to see a Blue Hawk be a coach for a D1 program like that. So I'm all for it, but they're not going to compete with Northwestern. Sorry, Jordy.
I think, later in the year we might have to rename Northwestern COVID U because they're going to be the goddamn spoiler. They have everything in them to be the spoiler. They play good. They play smart, fundamental football. They don't beat themselves. They're lined up to the division they play in is terrible. They could lose every game from now, and I think they'd still win it.
They got to win one more to clinch.
So they win one more. They win this week, and they have destiny with Ohio State
Right.
in a steel cage in Indianapolis. I don't think they'll win, but God damn it. It's a hell of a story. Northwestern this week.
All right, our next game, Colorado at number 18, USC, the Trojans. Somehow just keep the train rolling. I don't understand it. They barely beat Arizona State earlier in the year, but they're just one of those teams who seems to close out games much like any good closer in baseball. I'm taking the Trojans all day. They're a 13.5-point favorite. Borm, who do you like in this one?
This pains me to my very core. I'm taking Colorado in this game for this reason. USC has 6 giveaways. They've turned the ball over 6 times, twice a game. That's not okay. Not only that, all 3 wins on USC's schedule is that team's first game. Colorado's played 2 games. They've won 2 games. They have 1 giveaway. Their turnover margin's +4. They don't give the ball away. They're averaging almost 500 yards a game. I like Colorado in an upset here. Lane, what do you think?
I think USC has proved to be the second best team in the pack, but Colorado actually is playing okay, and like everything you just said, USC has been playing those first, and I didn't realize that until you just said that, but every team they have played, it's been their first game, so this will be a true test for them, I feel like. It's a Pac-12 game. It'll be good. It'll be fun to watch. I'm sure there'll be a lot of points, but I'm going to have USC win this one, but I do have Colorado covering. Jordan.
There's not a lot of programs in America that can have a coach dip out the way that Mel Tucker did and play the way Colorado has right out of the gates. The guy who's coaching him, I believe he'd been there for a long time. He's a kind of a lifer Buffalo guy, and he just has the
Kind of like you with Geary.
Huh?
Kind of like you with Geary.
I don't want to talk about me and Geary.
I
That's
forbid.
that's a horror story. But back to the Buffs. He has the boys playing. He has them believing, and they're fighting every week. But I also think USC's got a little bit of the same. They're not going to blow any teams out, but Graham Harrell has Slavis playing well enough, and they get to the end of the game, and they go, hey, we know we can do this. We know what we need to do. And they close, and they're finishing games, and they're building confidence. I think they win this game. I'm probably less than 10 points. I'm going to give them on that. But I think they win this game, build a lot more confidence for that eventual face-off with Oregon that they're going to have.
That's a really good point, Jordy. Thanks for saying that. All right, next we've got Mississippi State playing at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, kind of my squad, the Lane Kiffin Bays, coming in at a 9.5-point favorite. I'm taking Ole Miss. They got a little bit. They're playing this one for Eli Manning, I think. Ole Miss by plus. They're going to kill them 10 plus more points. Form, who do you like in this one with Ole Miss?
You said 2 words, Lane Kiffin. That guy's a mastermind, averaging 41 points a game, 565 yards of offense. Their obvious biggest issue is they're giving up 535 yards as a defense. But Mississippi State's been dormant since their win over LSU. So I don't think that's going to be an issue this week. I got Ole Miss big in this one. Lane, what do you think?
As much as I love Mike Leach, I think Ole Miss is going to roll. They're going to roll big, and I think it's like 9.5. Yeah,
Oh my
they're going to
God.
win over 9.5. But I do like Mike Leach. I love watching him. He's hilarious. But Ole Miss has this one. Jordy.
What a service the state of Mississippi is doing to all of America and all of the world by having their rivalry game have Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach as the head. Before
Character.
those two were even there, the rivalry game last year ended with a dude acting like he was a dog pissing, and the field goal got backed up and they missed it. This rivalry was great without Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin. I think Mike Leach does win this game. I think he gets Mississippi State playing. They played well against Georgia, who is dumb last week. But Lane Kiffin, who's probably on the IR, he threw that clipboard about a mile in the air. We need to check on him. I don't know if his arm's okay. Both matches, I think it'll be the best game of the week. That's must-watch television. But I'm going with Mike Leach. Mike Leach from Cody, Wyoming, and you two picked against him. Insane.
All right, our next game is Texas Tech. They're traveling to Oklahoma State. I'm 40. I'm taking Oklahoma State. They're a 10.5-point favorite. Josh, who do you like in this one?
I think we figured out last week that Oklahoma State's not very good based on what Oklahoma did to them in a rivalry game. Normally those games, throw out the records, whatever. but Oklahoma just put it to them because Oklahoma State's not very good. I think they win, but I think Tech hangs around. It's going to be a high-scoring game probably, but I got the Pokes. But and what do you think?
Honestly, exact same thing. Like Oklahoma State embarrassed themselves last week. They're not gonna do good, but it's Texas Tech, and even though it's not the University of Texas, fuck Texas. Oklahoma State's gonna win, and Texas Tech is gonna cover. Ready?
Oklahoma State had a little bit of a rough go, but that's kind of the story of Bedlam. They kind of build it up, and every year, like, this is the year they break through, and they just never do.
But it's always a good game.
A little bit this week. I think they come back a little bit this week, beat Texas Tech. I don't think Texas Tech's really done anything. I haven't heard from them. I haven't seen them.
They took
I haven't
Texas down
heard
to the
about
wire.
Texas Tech since Mike Leach locked the dude in a fucking shed, and his dad ended up working for ESPN, and they ruined a dynasty.
Well, he should have been standing there.
How dare you bring that up?
People don't
Craig
forget.
James, you're an asshole.
Don't forget. So who are you taking?
Oklahoma State. Go Pokes.
All right. Well, thank you all for turning into the Turkeytron edition of the People's Game Day. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, The People's Game Day. For Josh Borm, Lay Malay, and the one and only Lordy, it's Jody. I'm Dallas Hansen signing off for the People's Game Day.